Hi there, I'm Roma. I have the Sony ZV-E10 for about a year now, which is more than enough time to get familiar with the camera. In this video I'm going to share with you what I like and dislike about this camera so far. Let's start with video quality, which is the main thing I like about this camera. Although this camera is considered to be a budget camera, the video quality is fantastic, especially if you shoot in log and pair this camera with a good lens. Personally, I like shooting in S-Log 2. I think it's the best cinematic picture profile on this camera. I've made a whole video about that, you can watch it right here. Honestly, the results that I get from the Sony ZV-E10 are not too far away from my Sony a7 IV. I really hope that in the next ZV model, Sony is going to put 10-bit in this camera just to make the video quality even better. Do I even have to say anything about the autofocus on latest Sony cameras? It's snappy, reliable, and customizable. I don't remember a single instance where I was complaining about the autofocus on the Sony ZV-E10. It just works. You may think I'm crazy liking the colors on the Sony ZV-E10, but they're actually not that bad as long as you nail the white balance. My only complaint is the slight magenta tint, which I always have to correct in post-production. Of course, the colors on this camera are not as good as those on Canon or Fuji. However, when compared to older Sony cameras, the colors on the Sony ZV-E10 are excellent. This is not something specific for the Sony ZV-E10, but rather the whole E-mount ecosystem. One of the main reasons I think you should consider getting into Sony is the variety of lenses. You can find pretty much any lens you want, both for APS-C and full frame. It was one of the main reasons why I switched from Fujifilm to Sony. By the way, Viltrox, if you're watching, I want to review your new 30mm f1.4 APS-C Sony lens. Contact me if you want to collaborate. Let's now discuss the ZV-E10 disadvantages. First one is the horrible rolling shutter performance. To be honest, it's not really affecting me that much because for the most part, my camera sits on a tripod, but if you like doing quick pans with the camera or you have something moving really fast in the frame, the rolling shutter performance on the ZV-E10 is definitely going to annoy you. I really hope that in the next model, Sony is going to fix this issue because it's been going on for like 7 to 8 years, since the Sony a6000, I think. So pretty much all Sony APS-C cameras have terrible rolling shutter performance, whereas the full frame cameras are much better. So please, Sony, fix the rolling shutter performance on your next Sony APS-C camera. The display quality on the Sony ZV-E10 is horrible, both for photography and videography. I mean, you can use it to expose your shots, but you can't rely on it when it comes to colors. So if you're thinking about buying this camera and you like to review your photos, videos on the camera screen itself, you'll be disappointed. The difference between what I see on the ZV-E10 screen and my computer monitor is huge. So please, Sony, put a nicer display on the next ZV model. The ZV-E10 is a vlogging camera, and when you vlog, you want to have decent stabilization. But if you use active stabilization on the ZV-E10, the image is cropped by 40–45%. That's a lot. Basically, wide-angle lenses are not wide anymore. Alternatively, you can use Catalyst Browse on your computer, which will perform much better and crop less. But I am lazy. You must first import all of the footage into Catalyst Browse, then wait for it to render before beginning the actual editing. Then, as far as I know, Catalyst Browse does not work with low shutter speeds. So if you enjoy using ND filters to achieve optimal motion blur, Catalyst Browse is not a viable option. Come on, Sony, this is a vlogging camera, and if you want to vlog, stabilization is really important. So please, in the next model, reduce the crop to like 15–20%. I think it's going to be enough to have decent stabilization, and it's going to be enough for people to use this camera for actual vlogging with wide-angle lenses. The battery on the Sony ZV-E10 isn't bad, but it's also not great. It's only mediocre. If you buy this camera, you will need at least one extra battery. On the positive side, the ZV-E10 has a USB-C port, which you can use to power on with a battery bank. I'm doing it all the time, especially on long shoots. The menu system is the last issue I want to complain about. It's not that horrible once you get used to it, but compared to the new menu system on my a7 IV, it's just more confusing and complicated. Even now, after a year of using this camera, I sometimes struggle to find what I need in this confusing menu system. A quick tip to have better experience with the confusing Sony menu system is to set up a custom My menu with your most used settings. To summarize, I enjoy the Sony ZV-E10. It's a great camera to pair with my Sony a7 IV, especially given its small size, which is only slightly larger than the Sony ZV-1. Of course, this camera is not perfect, but for its price, I think it's one of the best options out there. Let me know down below which camera you think is superior to the Sony ZV-E10, but at the same price point. The Nikon Z30 comes pretty close, but I still believe the ZV-E10 is superior in terms of lens selection. Thank you for watching. I hope you find this video informative and useful, and I guess I will see you in the next one. Bye.